For some reason, people have a problem with LeFou being gay, yet they have no issue with Belle humping a buffalo. Beauty and the Beast is directed by Bill Condon and stars Emma Watson, Dan Stevens, Luke Evans, Josh Gad, Ewan McGregor, Ian McKellen, and is the story of Beauty and the Beast, the classic Disney animated film. This movie's basically a shot-for-shot remake, but I'm actually kind of blown away. I'm not sure why this movie's getting mixed reviews. It only did come out in Australia officially tomorrow, but I got to see an advanced screening of it tonight, and I don't know why they did the advanced screening like the day before, but what's the point? But anyway, I got to see Beauty and the Beast, and I'm kind of blown away. The audience at the end of the movie clapped, and you know a movie's good when the entire audience just claps. It was a great moment. What I appreciated most about this movie is that it is just visually stunning. The sets, the CGI, it all looked really good. The costumes were vibrant and bright and colourful. And the acting in this movie is spectacular. Emma Watson crushes it as Belle. I don't care what people say about her singing. It was fantastic. She obviously trained to get her singing up to standard because she sounded great to the point where my friend turned around and went, "That can't be really her singing, can it?" And I went, "Yes, it is. It absolutely is." Luke Evans as Gaston is just, he is Gaston. There is no other way to put it. He is that character. He embodied what Gaston was and is. And he's really funny. This movie has a lot of humor. There are a lot of jokes in this movie that are really, really funny. LeFou has some great funny moments. There was that big controversy over him being gay, but it actually really worked for this movie, and it really worked for the story of him and Gaston, and just the movie. It just worked. It worked so well. They didn't bash you over the head with he's gay, he's gay, he's gay. It wasn't trying to really send a message. It just worked for the story. Now, in this review, I'm not constantly going to be trying to compare it to the original Disney animated classic. When I want to review things, I want to review them as their own thing. I'm judging this movie on its own merits. Now, let's talk about the Beast in this movie, played by Dan Stevens. I think Dan Stevens did a wonderful job as the Beast. I think it was a terrific performance. I don't have a problem with the performance, but I have a problem with some of the CGI. I've gotten used to the look of the Beast in general over the last, however many months they've been promoting it, and since they announced, they put out a picture or an ad of what the Beast was going to look like initially. I was like, ugh, it doesn't look right to me. It just looks a little bit too ugly. And watching the movie didn't bother me. I like the look of the Beast. There are some shots of the Beast in this movie, there are some scenes where you can really tell it's CGI, and not that I have a problem with it being CGI, it kind of had to be CGI. My problem with it is when you look at something like The Jungle Book last year, which I adore, you can make talking animals look real and believable. Somehow a buffalo in a coat looks a little bit, it just looked like he was weightless a lot of the time. He didn't have much weight to him when he moved around. But in other scenes, he looked fine. The CGI was perfect. It just felt like, especially in the ballroom scene where they're dancing, and that's not a spoiler, that's in the trailer, which by the way I thought was a mistake for them to put some of that ballroom scene in the trailer. But during some of those scenes, he did look a little bit too CGI. Like if he bent his arm like that, the elbow would just look really sort of sharp and too pointy, and it just looked really, really bad. But that's a minor thing for me, where it's like, I can get over that because the rest of the movie is so fantastic. I have a couple of other problems with this movie, and all my problems with this movie are nitpicks. They're minor problems that I can forgive because I did enjoy the movie very, very much. There's a couple of other problems I have with this movie. One of them is during the opening scene with the Belle song. A lot of the camera movements are just really jarring. They just sort of these swooping panning shots, and then all of a sudden it just stops. And it really did take me out of the movie for a couple of times there, because it was just like, it just hurt my eyes. And I wasn't even sitting that close to the screen, but they were just really jarring, and these fast, sudden camera movements, and then all of a sudden it would just stop. It really did start to hurt my eyes a little bit. The other nitpick I have with this movie is the transition from scene to scene. A lot of the times in this movie, especially in the first half of the movie, they would just cut to black. They would fade to black. It was a quick fade to black to go to the next scene. And the first time I was kind of like, okay, yeah, that's whatever. And then it kept happening like 3 or 4 or 5 times. And I just felt like, are we going to commercial? Like, what is this? I'm not sitting at home watching a soap opera. We're not going to commercial. What is this? I didn't like that. I thought you could have just cut to the next scene. You didn't need to fade it to black and then fade it back in. It didn't work for me. They added a couple new songs, which I thought was really good, and they added a bit more backstory to Belle and her mother, and I actually really enjoyed that aspect. A lot of people are sort of criticizing that, and I think it added more to the story. I think it added more to the mythology of Beauty and the Beast, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it. Beast has a new song of his own, which I actually really thought was good. The Beast, surprisingly, like I said before, the humor in this movie is used so well. And the Beast has a couple of really funny laugh out loud moments that I really enjoyed. One thing that did take away from my experience watching this movie, and it had nothing to do with the movie itself, it was the 2 women sitting behind me who laughed at everything. Things that weren't even funny. Things that weren't even meant to be funny. Just things that happened. You know, just every time Lumiere and Cogsworth appeared on screen, they laughed. And not necessarily even funny moments, and it really annoyed the crap out of me, and I just had to get my frustrations out on camera. They just laughed at everything. They just talked through the entire movie. It really annoyed me. Let's talk about the antiques in this movie, Lumiere and Cogsworth and all of those. They worked really well. The CGI on them, I think, was better than the Beast. And that's really surprising. You'd think the Beast would be the main sort of centerpiece of the movie and the CGI on him would be great, but while it wasn't terrible, it wasn't what I would have expected from Disney. At one point in this movie, during the Be Our Guest number, and I don't consider that a spoiler, you should know that's in this movie, I swear Lumiere dabs. I swear, no joke, during the song, I swear he dabs. And I'm not going to dab, but I swear that he dabs. And my friend and I just looked at each other like, did Lumiere just dab? What is this? Guys, overall, I really enjoyed Beauty and the Beast. I don't know if they could have done a better live-action version than what we have just gotten. I really enjoyed this movie. If I had to score it, I'd probably give it an 8.5 out of 10. And that's pretty high. So, thank you guys for watching. Remember to subscribe to my channel for more movie reviews and discussions and all different sorts of crazy things. And I will talk to you guys later.